Hello, I'm Atty.Allan. This is International Entrepreneur Alliance IEA Hong Kong chapter broadcasting channel. Before welcoming Mr. Allan, Vice Consul of Philippine Consulate sitting next to me today. Currently, January 6th is the 15th anniversary of PHL in Hong Kong. Mr. Revote represents Philippine country to give us the most current information in beginning of year 2025. We know this channel will attract many enthusiastic audience in Hong Kong and elsewhere, inside, outside of Philippines, your motherland. To get you know, IEA missions is to provide development opportunity that empower entrepreneurs to create business opportunities, and also IEA is to be the leading global network of active citizens. Background of Mr. Allan Revote. I remember that you are lawyer in professional. What makes you a shift to from a lawyer, from academia, lawyer to the government, and also transfer to Hong Kong with a 7.5 million populations?
First of all, I would like to say good morning, Emily. Thank you very much to IEA for conducting this interview. So, professionally, I started, right after graduating from law school and after passing the bar exams. I was treading between the worlds of academe and also trade and investments. I started out as a teaching assistant for public international law in my law school in Manila. And at the same time, I also entered as an executive assistant to the Assistant Secretary for Trade Policy and Investment Negotiations in the Department of Trade and Industry back then. So my boss was essentially the lead trade negotiator for all trade negotiations being conducted by the Philippines. It was a very nice opportunity to have an eagle's, the saying, standing on the shoulder of the giants. I was able to do that. I was able to see how the whole how trade policy and negotiation is conducted, at least from the point of view of my boss back then. And then I did more of investment and trade law when I entered into the board of investments. So I stayed there for almost 2 years. I was very grateful. It was very hard work. It was a lot of but I believe I was able to gain a decade's worth of know-how on international investments and how the whole international investment landscape works, with those 2 years of experience in the Board of Investments. And then I took the Foreign Service Officers exam for the Department of Foreign Affairs. And I was very lucky enough and blessed to have passed that exam. And that started my journey as a diplomat. In fact, my first diplomatic posting is here in Hong Kong.
Oh.
So Hong Kong will forever be very special to me because it's my first foreign assignment. Yes.
Thank you for your personal bios, and Hong Kong attracts you to come here.
Yes.
And the question we have is, what do you see the potential and actually the future development potential of economic cooperation between the Philippines and the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, and Greater Bay Area?
So speaking on behalf of the Philippine Consulate General in Hong Kong, we see the immense potential in the future developments of Hong Kong as the GBA's chief international city. Hong Kong and its people are exceptional. I mean, I can personally see that people here are modern, innovative, and talented. We are confident, the Philippine Consulate is confident that Hong Kong will be able to fulfill its role in the development of the GBA by enhancing its status as a global center in different key areas that is of expertise to Hong Kong, which includes finance, trade, asset management, professional services, among others. And of course, the Philippines, as one of the Belt and Road partners of Hong Kong, is ready and willing to cooperate with Hong Kong in these areas. The Philippines is always here ready to engage Hong Kong and its main players in the city's business community, your viewers and listeners. We are open to trade and investments for the mutual benefit of our economies and, of course, our people.
Oh, I see. And also, what is the synergy between that? How do you see the synergy between the, in terms of trade, finance, and also cultural exchange? You can tell us more about it?
The Philippines and Hong Kong have always maintained close economic ties, and such relationship has always fostered synergism in terms of international trade and commerce. So, in 2023, the latest data that we have, both from the Philippine side and the Hong Kong side, Hong Kong was actually the Philippines' sixth largest trading partner. So it has a total merchandise trade amounting to 10.35 billion US dollars. That represents 5.4% of the Philippines' global merchandise trade. Hong Kong is very significant for the point of view of the Philippines in terms of merchandise trade, as you can see. On the other hand, the Philippines was Hong Kong's 14th largest trading partner globally, accounting for 1.2% of the city's total trade, amounting to 107 billion Hong Kong dollars. And it's the fifth largest among the ASEAN member states in 2023. As you can see, although from the point of view of Hong Kong, since it's such an international city, that's also quite a big deal. So the Philippine Consulate General in Hong Kong finds these figures very promising and shows the mutual interest to engage in terms of business between the two. But nonetheless, we can always improve. But as they say, there's no way to go but up. Yeah. So in terms of cultural exchanges, the Hong Kong Tourism Board just celebrated last November 29, 2024, last year, the arrival of the millionth Filipino visitor in the city. So it was that time that surpassed the previous highest record of 930,000 visitors back in November 29 of 2018. So it was for the same period. The highest back then was 930,000 arrival, but as I've mentioned, we were able to surpass that last November 29. That record has already been broken. So now, it shows the eagerness among Filipinos to experience the tourism and cultural offerings of this city. At the same time, the Philippines continues to welcome visitors from Hong Kong. In 2023, there were more than 80,000 Hong Kong residents who visited the Philippines in that year, making it the 11th top tourist source market for the country. So as you can see here from the side of Hong Kong, it can still improve. But nonetheless, since the Philippines, as we all know, is a very popular global tourist beach destination, I think we would not have any problem with attracting more tourists in our country, because also last year, 2024, the Philippines was able to win many awards during the 31st World Travel Awards. So this was back in September 2024. The Philippines won Asia's leading dive destination for the 6th consecutive year since 2016. It was also voted as Asia's leading beach destination and Asia's leading island destination. And the World Travel Awards also recognized the historic walled city of Intramuros in Manila as Asia's leading tourist attraction, Boracay Island, very beautiful Boracay, as Asia's leading luxury island destination, and Cebu, very popular to Hong Kongers, as the Asia's leading wedding destination. So the Philippines top tourist destinations that we hope that the people from Hong Kong will consider visiting include, of course, Boracay Island in Aklan. It's arguably the best beach in the world. Puerto Princesa Underground River in Palawan, it's a natural marvel. Chocolate Hills in Bohol, the Mayon volcano, the perfect cone-shaped volcano in Albay, Siargao Island in Surigao del Norte. This is where the really great surfing waves are located at. And of course, the Banawe Rice Terraces in Ifugao, a World Heritage Site. As well as major cities like Manila, Baguio, Vigan, Cebu, and Davao. I know that Hong Kongers love to visit beaches and dive sites in the Philippines, and we hope that they will do so in the future and experience the warm Filipino hospitality, which is so much part of our culture.
Thank you very much for telling us more on the tourism like Boracay Beach, and I've been eating a lot of Cebu mango and also
Yes.
like the ice cream from the Taro as well.
Yes,
You
yes,
haven't
yes.
mentioned.
Ube,
But
yeah.
what specific opportunity and challenges for the bilateral cooperations that you can tell us more about, and what are the potential areas for the future cooperation in the case that we can have more existing economic cooperation project between Philippines and Hong Kong?
So, shall we go first with the existing economic cooperation projects between Philippines and Hong Kong? Okay, so for the existing economic cooperation projects, what the Philippines and Hong Kong currently have now, it's well, firstly, I think the major cooperation between the two are the fact that both are actually parties to the ASEAN-Hong Kong Free Trade Agreement and investment agreements that came into force in 2019 and was fully implemented by February 2021. So the free trade agreement enabled both, including other ASEAN member states, to have a mutual reduction of tariffs for traded goods. As you can see, our the merchandise trade between the Philippines and Hong Kong are quite significant, as I mentioned earlier. And then restrictions to trade and services were also lessened. Longer stay for business travelers were also had. And better investment protection in general were implemented. So the Philippines looks forward to the outcomes of Hong Kong's application to join the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, or the RCEP agreement. So we acknowledge that Hong Kong applied for membership in the RCEP back in 2022. So as such outcomes will enable Hong Kong's competitive advantages to be included within the RCEP, we're sure it will benefit all parties therein. So aside from being each other's mutually important trade partner, Hong Kong was able to invest in key industries in the Philippines. So we note that Hong Kong was able to bring in investments to the Philippines in areas such as manufacturing, administrative and support service activities, real estate, transportation and storage, information and communication, and wholesale and retail trade. So these manifestations of trust in business offer tremendous opportunities for growth, particularly harnessing the Philippines' competitive advantages So I would now give you, it's more of like a pitch on why Hong Kong should invest in the Philippines. So first, um, we have a young and well-educated population that has the median age of 23.1 years old. So it's a very young, educated, talented population. We have access to key markets in the ASEAN and East Asian economies with our several free trade agreements in ASEAN and individually as well. The Philippines is also strategically, geographically located at the crossroads of international shipping and airlines as well. And its current infrastructure development with opportunities to take advantage of economic zones and information technology parks equipped with support capabilities. So I'm sure that that your viewers and listeners would be interested to know some examples of these economic zones and IT parks that they could possibly put their businesses in. So
We call it, you have the young age you mentioned to
Yes.
us, and also we have the C919 air flights you may know about.
Yes, yes.
I think its traveling businesses will be more captured on the surpass number. And actually, the linkage between Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, and Greater China within Philippines, there is no restriction now. And how can you tell us the Philippines will be more participate in the economic development strategies of this area, Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, and Greater Bay Area, and also capture economic growth opportunity from it, actually?
So for the Philippines, we engage the world through our foreign service posts. That's our first level engagement. So we have consulates in Hong Kong, Macau, and Guangzhou. So each of these foreign service posts, each of these consulates are able to cover economic development initiatives and events on each territory. So similarly, each consulates are mandated to engage their respective jurisdictions' governments to foster more economic opportunities for the Philippines therein and engage their respective business communities therein to advocate for the economic and investment opportunities available in the Philippines. All of these are for the purpose of advancing economic diplomacy among their respective jurisdictions in China. So for the Philippine Consulate General in Hong Kong, we are committed, we have been committed, and will continue to be committed to engage the Hong Kong government and business communities, particularly through our economic section. So, and at the same time, cover the progress of the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, Greater Bay Area's economic development strategies as it is implemented in the city. The consulate also has a Philippine Trade and Investment Center, which is the representative office of the Philippine Department of Trade and Industry that is ready to engage with Hong Kong's trade and investment communities.
And we are actually located in central MOT area. Is now is One More One Belt, and ASEAN and RIOCEP is currently and AI also the booming words bazaar that's telling us what we do, and are we getting to be more intelligent or more lazy about that. But to me, there will be the weekend is congested with Philippines and also other ASEAN made along this area. So can you also tell us the future prospect, anything deepening our economic and cultural cooperations and between this bilateral economic cooperation between Philippines and Hong Kong? And is there any room for deeper cooperations in cultural and education as well?
Okay, so Let's go first to the economic side for your viewers and listeners. So as we discussed earlier, the Philippines and Hong Kong have a robust economic relationship, with the Philippines exporting a lot of products to Hong Kong. At the same time, there are economic opportunities brought about by the ASEAN Hong Kong China Free Trade Agreement, the one I mentioned earlier, as enhanced by its first protocol to amend the said agreement, the AHK-FTA, and by the ASEAN Hong Kong China Investment Agreement. The Philippines looks forward to the favorable decision on the application of Hong Kong to join the RCEP, or the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, because we know that RCEP will surely foster deeper economic cooperation between the Philippines, Hong Kong, and other RCEP partner countries, if such favorable decision would materialize. In terms of cultural and economic cooperation, the Philippines and Hong Kong are always finding ways to promote diversity and ethnic inclusivity within the city. As you've mentioned earlier, indeed, our citizens are indeed outside and are very visible to everyone, particularly every Sunday, especially in Central, because the Filipinos in Hong Kong are actually part of the largest ethnic minority in terms of population in the city. So we are currently at 220,000 Filipinos in Hong Kong. We're very thankful that us Filipinos are empowered to celebrate cultural traditions and celebrations throughout the city. So particularly seen every June. June is it's like our national month. Particularly, our national day is on June 12 every year. So every June, we have the most awaited Kapangyawan Friendship Festival that celebrates the deep friendship between the Philippines and Hong Kong. And this is also present in the Philippine Consulate's participation on multicultural events sponsored by the Hong Kong government, such as the Asia Plus Festival last November, the Hong Kong Book Fair last July, among others. Further, for educational cooperation, the Philippine Consulate is currently under talks with several top Hong Kong universities on possibly developing programs to bridge partnerships with their Filipino counterparts in the Philippines.
Oh, thank you. It is so much that I can gain from you today.
Yes.
And it is also very fair. This interview has given us hope and the future with Philippines, Hong Kong, Greater China, and Guangdong. We are also excited for further strengthen our relationship, especially in the area of innovation, education, and cultural exchange. Audience, thank you so much for watching. I wish I can ask more questions, but I'm afraid we are out of time here. And thank you again, Vice President, Vice Consul of Philippines Consul General, Mr. Allan Revote Anthony, being with us today. I'm Atty.Allan on behalf of International Entrepreneur Alliance, IEA, and our board members, Mr. Tony Ho and Mr. Tony Tam, and Philippines Chamber of Commerce. Mr. happily join us today behind the scene. Not to miss this month, January, for Hong Kong, Chinese and Pinoy in Hong Kong. In the Philippines, also celebrate 2 New Years, Lunar New Year, and in next 3 weeks' time, before the camera, can you also speak in Cantonese or any dialect to say some greetings before leaving our channel today?
Well, I'll if you will teach me, I will be able to say Happy New Year. So is it
Kong Hei Fat Choi?
Okay, it's Kong Hei Fat Choi. Okay, we can greet. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Kong Hei Fat Choi.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.